Okay, now just to give you guys a different shot now. Just gonna lift these guys up and remove the timing chain. I'm gonna maybe manhandle these cams a little bit, but these are junk, so pay no attention to what I'm doing. There we go. That one's out. Here's our timing chain. Make sure we somehow mark the way which way is rotating. You know, you don't want to. If it's installed this way, you don't want to install it this way on the other cylinder head. Okay. Okay, and now to take off this CVVT unit, I'm going to use my air gun. Again, there's no instructions on all data on how to get this off. There's no torque spec for this bolt or whatever. But yeah, make sure you're careful as you can. After you remove this doesn't fall down or something. Okay. Okay, the bolt out should slide out easy. There we go. Okay, now we need to put this on the exhaust camshaft, and when you look at the inside of this, there is a hole there inside of this thing that needs to line up with the end of the exhaust camshaft that I'm going to show you in a minute. So there's no way you can get this wrong. You just have to make sure it goes in all the way and it clicks into place. Okay, and here's the cam for our exhaust side, and that's what needs to line up with the hole on the CVVT unit. There we go. So make sure you get some oil on this so this goes in easy. There we go. You guys probably heard the click anyway. Okay, next it's time to torque this down. Again, like I said, I can't find the torque spec for this. I'm gonna go to 30, actually like 33 foot-per-pound on this bolt. But the way you want to do this, well, the way I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna rest this on the ground and hold it in place with my crescent wrench, and make sure you wrap this in as many sharp rags as you can. You don't want to scratch anything, especially since you're resting it on the ground. And don't force down on this crescent wrench while you're trying to torque this. You know, make sure you just want to hold it in place. So just hold it like that in place, and then torque it down. Alright. There we go. Okay, so next I was actually going to put on the cams and line them up and everything, but I think it's going to be easier if I do it on the car. So I'm going to put the cylinder head on the car first, then we're going to put the camshafts on there, and then try to line them up. I'm also going to go look for some instructions online, see if I can find how to exactly put these things on and line them up. Okay, so after cleaning the surface one last time, what we need to do is clean up the bolt holes that are for the cylinder head. And the way you want to do this, basically you need to use some compressed air. You wrap this around some rags and stuff, and you put it in the hole, and then you just blow it, and then make sure you get some rags because it's gonna go everywhere. Yep, all that crap was in there. So yeah, you want to do this a couple of times on each bolt hole, and after they're clean, you want to spray some brake clean in them because there's still gunk in there that's not going to be removed by compressed air. And then you want to apply compressed air one last time, and then they should be clean after that. Okay, so we're going to go all the way around and do this for each cylinder bolt hole. Okay, now time for some brake clean. You want to cover this up too because it's going to spray out if you don't. Okay, now we blow out this brake clean with some compressed air. Okay, now I think we're ready to put in our new head gasket. Got a Felpro multi-layered steel head gasket. This is 3 layers. And yeah, I want to make sure you pay attention to the side that says up. Make sure that side goes up, and just throw it on here. Make sure it's laying down as flat as possible, so when you go to put the cylinder head on, it doesn't move or anything. Okay. Okay, so before I put the cylinder head on, I think I should mention that in order to do it perfectly, you either want to use 2 people, each holding it from the sides and slowly putting it in. Because since these dowel pins these guide pins are on here, if you don't put it in straight, you can scratch up the surface, the bottom of the cylinder head. But you know, there's only one of me here, and I'm gonna just try to do my best to line it up. And it's still probably gonna not go on there perfectly. Obviously, it's gonna scratch up the bottom of the cylinder head a little bit. But since it's gonna be around this area and it's not that close to the combustion chambers, it's usually fine. Okay, another thing you can do is use a cherry picker, but I'm not dragging my cherry picker from the hole from the corner of the shop. There's just way too many stuff here and not enough room. But yeah, if you want to do it correctly, just use 2 people, each person on each side, or yeah, use a cherry picker. Okay. Did I get that like exactly on? I think I might have. Nope, nope, I did not. There we go. It's on there now. Okay, so before we put our new cylinder head bolts in, we're gonna dab our finger in some clean engine oil and run it against the threads. And also you want to try to get some oil on the bottom of the bolts too, because that's the part that's gonna be riding on the washers, and if it's not oiled up, you're not gonna get the correct torque. Okay, also don't forget the bigger bolts go on the left side or the driver's side. Okay, now it's time to tighten down our cylinder head bolts. The smaller one, which are all of them except these 2, are going to be tightened down to, well, it's going to be 3 steps. At the first step, we're going to tighten these smaller ones to 18 pounds per foot, and then these 2 bigger bolts get tightened down to what is it, 22 pounds per foot. Okay, and the way we're going to go is we're going to go from the center out. So we're going to go here, 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 here. Okay. Okay, so don't forget, for this bigger ones, we need to crank it up to 22 foot/pound. Okay, so the next step is going to be turning this each bolt 60 to 65 degrees clockwise. If you want to do this accurately, you need to get a torque angle gauge from your auto parts store. I didn't have one at the time, so I decided to kind of eyeball it. The way I do it is, you know, I measure 90 degrees first, which is fairly easy to do, and then between, you know, right in between that is you have 45 degrees. Oh, by the way, you can mark these on top of the cylinder head to get be more accurate. So yeah, so next you get your 45 degrees, and then a third of the way between 45 degrees and 90 degrees, it's 60 degrees. And you want to mark that on top of the cylinder head. And you know, I've done this a couple of times, so you know, I got good practice with doing this, so I'm pretty sure I was able to get pretty close to 60 to 65 degrees. And then you just turn your pry bar, and then you get 60 degrees, and then just go ahead and do this for each bolt. Okay, now we repeat that stuff for each bolt. Okay, so after the first pass, we do a second pass of 60 to 65 degrees. Follow the same steps, same pattern. Okay, just to clarify it, it's the first step is 18 foot/pound for the small bolts and 22 foot/pound for the big bolts. Then we do after that, the second step is 60 to 65 degrees, and then the third step is another 60 to 65 degrees. Okay. Okay, next it's time to drop in our camshaft. I'm gonna start with the exhaust side, and I still have to look up the directions to line this up with the camshaft on the intake side, but as a good rule of thumb, this little mark here, this needs to go up, especially since this is for the camshaft gear, and this needs to also face up to have the engine at top dead center. This is pretty important because, as you remember, both cylinder number 1 and 4 are at top dead center, so all the pistons are up, on those two cylinders, so it's important to try to to get this right, okay?